Hi, and welcome back, guys, to Normski TV and the What's Going On podcast. Yes, we're here again to talk all things Arsenal and the rest of football. That includes Liverpool, Chelsea, Man U, and all the people, all the teams that are in the Premier League. We're here to talk about the review of the weekend. So much to talk about. We've only got about half an hour, 40 minutes, so there's a lot to get through. And I've got my honoured guest, Mr. Kofi, who's ready to come on. I'm sure he's celebrating something, which was yesterday. So brilliant. Kofi, how you doing? Welcome to the What's Going On podcast again.
Hello, sir.
Can I just say something? There's a stain on your shirt.
It's a good stain. It's the best stain in the world.
Oh boy. Listen, thanks for coming on and thanks for making time for another What's Going On podcast. And obviously a lot has happened at the weekend. Dave might not be on with us this evening. He's had a rather, you might have seen his Instagram post. I asked him if it was gospel music. He just put a laughing emoji, but he's quite busy this evening. He had a late one last night, so he can't join us, but he may. I did put the link in there, so I said if he's tempted, he could come on and check us out. But listen, we're here to talk all things Premier League, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, and the rest of the other teams. And just to let everybody know as well, you may have seen on the What's Going On podcast, there's a picture of my missus is right next to me. She's got a laptop making a load of noise, so you have to excuse me. So it's unprofessional. That's how it goes. But anyway, listen, you may well have seen the Thomas Tuchel, Klopp, and Arteta on the front of my What's Going On podcast. The reason why they're on there is not to say that we're irrelevant. We are relevant, but it's just because my mates, Kofi is a Liverpool supporter, and David is obviously a Chelsea supporter. So because they make up part of the team, we had to go with that that plate, whatever you want to call it, thumbnail. So if everybody's wondering why, the pictures of Klopp and Tuchel and Arteta are on the front, that's the reason why, guys. Okay, but we will talk about all things football, Man United, and that. And boy, talk about Man United. Let's go with that first. Actually, last night, what's going on? Jesse Lingard, what an assist!
Yeah, I mean, I was really surprised with what happened after seeing them take the leads. Ronaldo again.
Yeah, again.
And wow, fair play to young boys, and Lingard. He's going to be back in the subs bench pecking order.
Yeah, I'll say subs bench, but also what you just got to hope and not worry about is that he's going to get that social abuse, media abuse, and we don't really want that to happen. Listen, yes, it was a mistake. I don't know what Solskjaer's tactics were there to take off Bruno and Ronaldo. All right, yes, granted they were down to 10 men. Bit strange. I just could wonder why he did that. And I think a lot of the Man U fans are saying that he got his tactics wrong. And even now, there's talk about them wanting to get rid of Solskjaer and bringing Conte. You know what I mean? And I'm hoping that puts us Arsenal in a dilemma, because on one hand, I want Arteta to do bad so we can get Conte in, but it means that the more we lose, is the more we're going to be down the table. So it's a rock and a hard place right now when it comes to me and Arsenal. But if Solskjaer doesn't get it right, Conte is there sitting around waiting for one of the teams to pick him up. So we'll have to just wait and see what happens there. But yeah, I don't know what was going on there, Cole. He does come off the bench anyway. He's not a starter, is he, Lingard?
No, yeah, he's a bench player for now. But I mean, we all make mistakes in games. Probably at that stage in the game, you're probably thinking, take more care of the ball. But what happens after that?
I mean, for the young boys, I mean, listen, man, to get that win, Man United sit currently last in the table, but listen, they should be able to turn it around. They've got Villarreal. Who else have they got in that? Villarreal played. What was it? Was it Seville? I can't even remember the team that they've got in their table. I think it's was it Seville? I can't remember, to tell you the truth. But it was a 2-2 draw. I don't know if it is, but definitely it was Villarreal yesterday. I can't remember who they drew against, but it was a 2-2 draw. It's not Seville. Who was it? I can't even remember. But yeah, if somebody does know, put it in the chat and let me know who Villarreal played yesterday. But Man United currently sit last. Villarreal in second. Obviously, Young Boys at top at the moment. But Man United have got 2 home games, so hopefully they should turn that around. But it will get trickier as we go along, and quickly as well. Barcelona, Bayern Munich.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you would have to say that Barcelona definitely, they're not the team that they were, and yes, they're going through that transition, which is going to take a long time.
Yeah.
And it's going to affect how the team go from here. Really,
yeah.
I think
losing Rooney as well. Messi. What got Rooney in my head? Yeah, Messi. After losing him, they don't look the same. And with Ronald Koeman in charge, it's not looking good for them at the moment. Do you know what I mean?
For them, it's a building process, a rebuild process now.
Yeah.
And, they have to really look at some of the younger players that wouldn't have got into the team, and they would have to start bringing them in. Obviously, they will come back at some stage, but we don't know how long this rebuild's going to take. But, the same. You know what? The same thing might happen to the likes of Bayern Munich later on. We don't know, because they have a lot of older players as well in the team. Which
I hear you, but they just dominant. I mean, I didn't watch the game, but 3-0 away. Do you know what I mean? They played away.
Yeah,
playing at home. To me, and they're looking quite strong in their domestic league as well. So, in terms of the favourites, I mean, you play tonight, AC Milan. That's going to be interesting. But what's your thoughts on that quickly?
Well, I was talking to a friend of mine earlier, and since we haven't played them for a long time, I still think it's going to be a difficult game. Opening game for us, obviously, and probably be a tight scoreline. I'm thinking maybe 2-1 to us.
Yeah, you're playing at home, aren't you? You're playing at home, aren't you?
Yeah, playing at home.
Yeah. And talking about Liverpool, your game at the weekend, I was on the phone FaceTiming you. Very interesting game. First of all, thoughts go out to Harvey Elliott. Saw the actual incident when it happened. I think I've got on the phone to you straight away. Mate, what's your thoughts on that? I mean, gosh.
Yeah. Horrible injury for any youngster to have. And, it was one of those that it was just an awkward tackle. It was like the guy, I mean, it was a tackle from behind, but the guy kind of got the ball, but his trailing leg just came and
just caught him.
And if you were to argue on the league's point of view whether that was a red card, maybe they would say it was a yellow probably, but I mean the Liverpool team would definitely would have been asking for that red because of the threatening case of the injury, that potentially can destroy somebody's career. So
So you don't personally think it was a red card?
I've looked at it a few times. I think red was probably the best decision. But then I've seen other worse tackles than that. And, you'd have to say some of the other tackles I've seen that should have been reds were yellow cards. So, yeah.
I mean, when you saw his leg, I couldn't. First of all, I couldn't work out whether it was his leg because and then my son, why he wanted to come back and rewind it. I mean, my missus ended up coming back anyway and rewinded it back to the point when she was like trying to find it. I said, I can't remember where it was at, and she eventually found it, and like she's like, oh god, she just said, right, forget it. Do you know what I mean? Because literally, his foot was like the other way. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But look, he's had successful surgery, and apparently he will probably make it back for this season. But they're saying that a break would have been better rather than a dislocated ankle, because they're saying that it takes a lot longer. I don't know.
Well, it's harder to say because both have, depending on how severe the breaks are, you're talking muscle fibers also involved and things like that. So ankle breaks probably would take a lot.
This was a dislocation. So
dislocation.
So do you know what I mean? But it depends on if the ligaments are damaged as well.
That's it.
Yeah, it's going to take time to thingy. But he's young lad, 18. I watched him clapping as he was going off. I think this guy's in pain. But it was great to see the Leeds fans, applauding him off, and he was applauding them. I don't know where he had the energy, to applaud him. But let me just let me see if I can just share this screen with you. Let's see if I can do this. Let's see if I can go back to here and just want to show you this article. It was in the BBC. It was on BBC. As you can see, I will come back to this comments in a minute. But I don't know if you can see that he's gonna defender Pascal Strujic will serve a 3-match ban after obviously putting that tackle in him. Well, it wasn't a malicious one, and even the Leeds, which was quite funny because the Leeds CEO came out and he was saying, which was really surprising, he did a press conference after post-match on the pitch, and he wasn't too happy the fact that the referee gave him a red card, and RB Elliott even responded in a tweet after Sky put it out that he's going to serve. It's been upheld. The ban has been upheld, and he's going to serve a 3-match ban. He said really he felt that the Premier League or FA were wrong to do that. So hats off to RB Elliott. He's a strong lad, and mate, it's good, to see guys like that. He knows it wasn't nothing serious. It was 2 guys going after the ball, and it's just unfortunately his leg came off the worst, or ankle came off the worst. He didn't deliberately or maliciously go in and try to damage him or break tackle. It was just 2 guys going for a ball, and unfortunately RB Elliott was the one that came out. But listen, he's a young lad, he's strong, and hopefully he'll bounce back. And we'll see him soon. Do you know what I mean? But he's a very good player. He was bought. Was he bought from Blackburn?
Yeah, he was. Well, he went out on loan to Blackburn actually.
Oh, so he's a Liverpool academy.
He was. Where did he come? He was brought in to Liverpool, and then he was loaned out to Blackburn.
Oh, right. Okay. So where was he bought from originally then?
It was one of the
It was a championship side, wasn't it? Or was it?
yeah, it was a championship side. I can't remember which side it was, but
Yeah. I thought he came from Blackburn for it, but he was on loan to Blackburn. He's obviously developed really well, and he looks like he's taken the place of, I was saying this to you, because now that you've lost Ronaldo, yeah, he looks like he's the one he's got in front of Firmino as well. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, Firmino's position is, I mean, he's not. I don't know whether he's technically better than Firmino, but obviously he has the attributes of being, world class later on. But obviously Firmino is still a fantastic player. You have to give him, respect that. That he really is, one of the top players that, if Liverpool do let him go, then we have to. It's going to be hard to replace what he does offer. So
yeah. I mean, just quickly, I know the transfer window is a little way away, but do you think you'll be doing any business in January? I know in the last podcast I was saying that there's probably a chance that you might not do anything unless you get a serious injury. Now that Elliott is out, what's going to happen there?
Liverpool have been jokers in the transfer windows, and it's either we're potentially in for a player, or we we have nothing else to say, to be honest. But it's always going to be the same story with us. Yeah, I don't think that would change. I don't think the transfer policy of the club will change anytime soon.
Also said Klopp didn't sound too confident in the press conference. I'm not too sure if that was to do with the Champions League. If so, I mean, AC Milan, we did speak about that earlier on, and you said that you think you win 2-1, but Klopp, Jay's saying that he didn't sound too confident in his press conference. Maybe that's just a little ploy. I don't know.
I've got a little confirmation that Van Dijk is not starting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What, is he injured?
I didn't see anything other than a notice come through on the screen. So
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Sorry, just going through here. Also, he came from Fulham. Yeah, he came from Fulham. My missus seems to follow him. So and she says money talks. I was probably with regards to whatever we was talking about, but I don't know what it was. But anyway, listen, so listen, as I said, we wish RB Elliott all the best, and we'll see what happens there. But let's talk about the Premier League, and let me just share the Premier League table. Let me do this. I'm just going to share that. Okay, let's get it on here. Right. As you can see, Man United topped on 10 points. I think it's goals scored, followed by Chelsea on 10 points, Liverpool on 10 points, Everton on 10 points. And what a game. Everton against Burnley. First half, Burnley bullied them. And you're just thinking, my gosh, there's only a matter of time before Burnley gets a goal. Second half, they go into there. Burnley's still on the front foot. It's just like, I don't know what Rafa Benitez said to these guys come second half. But after they got the equaliser, and what an equal! I think it was Keane that got the equaliser, but it was the second goal by Townsend. What a goal! That's probably got to be goal of the season. And he hits those shots.
I missed that game, to be honest. I didn't catch the highlights.
Yeah, it was a great game. It was a brilliant game. I mean, I thought, because obviously we got Burnley next, and I'm just praying and hoping that we don't get bullied by them. Do you know what I mean? And I think I was trying to assess the game and look how we would sort of approach it. And I think what we need to do is obviously win the physical battle, but it's going to be difficult with the likes of Chris Woods up front. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be difficult, but I think we need to keep the ball on the floor, get the ball moving really quick. And that's what Everton did second half. They got the ball moving really quick through the lines. And Decore, I would love him in Arsenal. For me, even though it was Townsend that got man of the match, Decore, you know, what he did was Rafa switched to a 4. I think he switched to a 4-3-3 but they weren't used to playing that. You know, they were trying to get used to it, so they weren't used to playing it. But he switched up, and as soon as he switched that, literally 3 goals in 6 minutes.
Wow.
And they win the game 3-1.
That's a real turnaround.
The crowd was getting a bit restless, but you know what I mean? So as you can see, Everton sitting in Champions League position, and everybody has drawn in the first top 4. No one's lost, but have all drawn. So you've won 3 games and drawn 1.
Yeah.
And then you go down to Man City, who are sitting 5th on 9 points. Obviously, they lost their first game to Tottenham, away to Tottenham. And we sit in 16th place on 3 points, a goal difference of -8. I was so pleased for Patrick Vieira against Tottenham. What a game. I never saw that game either.
That was the game. I saw that as well. It was, I mean, Crystal Palace really showed, you know, they really wanted it. They were all over them. They were harrying them. They were getting in those uncomfortable positions that, you know, Tottenham couldn't deal with.
Yeah. And the thing is, I think Tottenham only had 2 shots on goal.
Yeah.
Only 2 shots of the whole game. Remember, the whole game. Do you know what I mean? So it was like mad. It was just absolutely crazy. You know, Harry Kane was not in the game, and then I think it's Tang Gang. I can't remember his name.
And the funny thing is, we've got them next.
Who? Tottenham?
No, we've got Crystal Palace.
What, away or home?
It's a home game, but you know, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Tanganga, I think his name is, if I pronounce his name right. He got sent off. But even with 11 men, I still felt that Crystal Palace looked the better side. And, you know, when you got the likes of Zaha, Wilfred Zaha, you know, running at you, I wish we got him instead of Pepe. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he's a guy that causes problems. You know, he's going to be direct, and that's what he did. And, you know, I think a foul would have happened, or supposedly there was a foul and they wanted to stop play on one of the Tottenham players. He went down and they carried on, and then obviously Tanganga, or whatever his name is, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing his name right. I'm butchering his name right now. He basically bundled Wilfred off the ball. And they had a little bit of a little Barney and everything. They both got yellow cards, and then Tanganga then ended up putting in a tackle, which was a second yellow card, and he ended up getting sent off. Do you know what I mean? But I don't think it would have made any difference, because Crystal Palace really played well in that game. Man United, Ronaldo, you know, what a debut.
Yeah. Again, an entrance that you probably would have kind of predicted, because, you know, obviously the stage was set for him to, you know, get the goals that he did. So, yeah. I mean,
I heard that Newcastle gave him a good game. It wasn't, Man United weren't convincing in a sense. It's just that they didn't put their chances. Do you know what I mean? And a fantastic goal by Bruno Fernandes, another goal in top bins. But, you know, with Newcastle getting a goal back, I don't know if it was 1-1. I think they got a goal back 1-1. I can't remember who scored. But then, you know, Ronaldo gets his second goal, puts them back up 2-1. Or I think it was Bruno Fernandes. I can't remember which way round. But they end up going and winning that game 4-1, you know. And it was a fantastic thing. But the problem is that they've got Ollie at the wheel. And that's what Dave said at the last podcast that we spoke about. You said with him at the wheel, you know, you've only got to look at the Champions League game yesterday.
Yeah.
He got his tactics wrong, and a lot of people are calling for his head, even though he's got the players. Because if you look at their side.
Oh, yeah, the squad is immense. They've got packed with talent, packed with ability, even off the bench. And, I'm surprised that they couldn't turn that game around.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing, but it is what it is. What it is, man. I mean, you're thinking 10 men, but what happened in that game in the Champions League? They ended up sitting back and just was inviting young boys onto them. Do you know what I mean? And it was just a matter of time. And Ronaldo at the end, he didn't look too pleased, and that's going to be interesting because he's a leader, 36 years old. He ain't going to take nothing, but he wants the best. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So, he'll look at that and think, come on, guys, we can't be doing that. And Wan-Bissaka, I think that's the first time since 2013 a Man United player has received a straight red in a Champions League game.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? And the tackle, again, it was a red card, but I don't think it was malicious. It's just that he went for the ball and, his foot went over the top and he caught the guy's ankle. Do you know what I mean? And, there's referees in Europe, they don't mess about. Straight red card. Thank you very much. But yeah, so Man United, I think in terms of the title, we spoke about this last podcast, Dave wouldn't commit himself. I know you said Liverpool should finish around about second or third. Looking at the way Man United are playing, what are your thoughts in terms of where you think they're going to finish?
It's still early days, and there's still a lot of difficult games along the way. We don't know how injuries are going to affect teams, and can every team racing for the title keep their main players fit? So I'm not going to say where Man U are going to finish, and so I'm just going to stick with my team, and hopefully we finish above them.
Which means what, you're going to win the league?
I'm keeping my mouth shut. The last time I tried to say that.
You ain't going to commit yourself. But listen,
I committed myself to second or third, which I think is going to be
realistic.
Yeah, realistically.
Okay, we'll see. As I say, it's all going to depend on injuries. And listen, it depends how far you go in the Champions League. You're going to be in 4 competitions as well. And I keep saying it, Cole, your squad is thin in terms of your size.
It is.
Don't worry. Do you know what I mean?
I always say that we just don't get ourselves over the line in terms of getting the players that we really, really want. We've had that few years period where, yes, we did get Van Dijk, yes, we did get Salah, yes, we did get those influential players into the team, and they've done fantastic for us. But then we have to push on, like Man City push on every season. Yes, they have got the money to spend, but they're prepared to pay the price for the players.
Well, listen, going on to Arsenal, we get our first win, 1-0 to the Arsenal, as they would say, against Norwich. And just looking at some of the stats, let me see. Just say, Batman obviously started up front. Saka, Odegaard, and Pepe. He played a 4-2-3-1 system again. On paper, when we saw it at first, when it first came out, it looked like a 3-5, sort of kind of like a 3-5-1 at first, because he's got he had Maitland-Niles, who I was quite surprised he started over Partey. So he started Maitland-Niles alongside Sambi Lokonga, and he also had Odegaard in there. Do you know what I mean? So he was playing I don't know if he was playing Maitland-Niles as a wing back, because when you looked at it, the formation kind of changed. Like Maitland-Niles, he was playing in midfield, but I think in the end, what happened, he ended up taking off Tomiyasu, who I think had a great debut, and he took off. Who else did he take off? Took off Tomiyasu, brought Maitland-Niles into the right back position, and there was another player that he took off, and I was surprised he started Ramsdale over Leno. That was another surprise. And it's probably looking like Ramsdale is going to probably be our number one keeper. And to be honest, perfectly honest, I think, personally speaking, that he's probably going to get the number one jersey. Leno still hasn't signed his contract, and we're hearing that other clubs are interested in him. Inter Milan interested in him. So the likelihood is that he could end up going more likely in the summer, because he's got about a year and a half left on his contract. So I don't see, he's not going to sign one. And Arteta basically said in his conference, his press conference, that look, he's just trying him out, see how he feels. He brings a different option, and I do feel that he gets the ball moving a lot quicker. And that's one of the things with Arsenal, and that's one my bugbear with them. And I know you had this bugbear with Liverpool moving the ball through the lines, yeah. But I feel for Arsenal, we still need to progress that ball much quicker from the back. You know what I mean? Because Arsenal are very predictable in terms of how they play. There's talk about Arsenal eventually going to a 4-3-3 system. You know what I mean? It depends on who he plays alongside Partey, whether he plays Partey in a more advanced role and Lokonga maybe in the 6th role. But you've got Granit Xhaka to come back. El Nene is injured at the moment. And would you believe it? Jack Wilshere may come back, but only to trade. I mean, listen, there's talk about him coming back to Arsenal, but to be personal, I just think he just needs to come back, train, get his fitness up. But you just don't know with Arsenal; they always pull some sort of surprise out the bag, and I will be shocked. Or would I be shocked? No, I wouldn't be shocked, but I would be saying, listen, is this where the club has gone to? You know what I mean? Because at the moment we've got a shortage in midfield, because you've got El Nene out. Obviously, Granit Xhaka's suspended. Yeah, he's still got serving the 3 game ban, but he's still got 2 games to go. So, I just think, really, personally speaking, just bring him back to train with us, and just to maybe bring some sort of leadership, within the training ground for those other youngsters. You know what I mean? But there's talk about him coming back and training with the Arsenal. So I don't know whether Arteta has got any other thoughts with regards to starting. I hope not. But saying that, going back to the Arsenal game, we had 30 shots, which is one of the most amount of shots we've had since I think it was the Man United game, when De Gea, we ended up losing that game, but we had 30 odd shots, and literally that guy was like Spider-Man that night. On this occasion, we just did not put our chances away. You can't have 30 shots, 7 shots on target, and 50-odd% possession. It's Norwich, yeah? No disrespect to them, but we should be beating Norwich. Do you know what I mean? And the goal that we did get was a scrappy goal. It was a scrappy goal. Do you know what I mean? I didn't really cheer. Do you know what I'm saying? But I suppose the question is I think I may have put it in my thing, as Arteta got another reprieve as winning this game, giving him more time. Do you think he's got more time, Kof?
He's on a thin line at the moment, and as every game comes up, the pressure ramps up. They really need to continue getting wins and just push them a little further up the table every game. So, yeah, the pressure really is on. I don't think he's got much time left, but we'll see. We'll see what the Arsenal board think. We'll see how the fans. Our
fans can be quite, flip floppy. Or floppy, as they would call it, flip flop that way. You know what I mean? It's almost like now that we've won the game, our first game, is like, you know what I mean? And they were ironically singing, "We are not going to get relegated." Yeah,
it's a sense of relief. It's a sense of relief.
Yeah. And talking about the sense of relief, Arteta, came out in his press conference, and he was talking about that it's been the best 10 to 14 days of his life. And I was like, what? Hang on. This is from Eurosport, so just quickly read it, yeah? He goes, the best 14 days in my career. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta makes a bizarre claim after the Norwich win. I'm like, what is this guy on? He really doesn't know how to play the press. What do you mean it's the best 10 to 14 days of your life? So what happened to the rest? What was so special about these 10 to 14 days? What is it because you had all the players to work with? I don't know. Or is it just because you've won the game, as you said, Kofi, it's just a relief that we've won it. So maybe he's thought, you know what, I better say this. What do you mean he's the best? I mean, he goes, Arsenal coach about to claim that he has been the best 10 or 14 days in my professional career. Really? Seeing his side beat Norwich 1-0 on Saturday, the win at the Emirates was the first win and the points of the Premier League season for Arsenal after 3 consecutive league defeats. Pressure had mounted on both Arteta and the technical director, Edu, but they broke their run of miserable form when Pierre Aubameyang grabbed the winner. Yeah, he goes, we're really happy. We knew it was really a tricky game. We got what we wanted. I felt he's gone into that game, you know what I mean, under pressure. Do you know what I mean? But really, it's Norwich. We should, I know, yes, we've lost 3 games on the bounce, and, you know, you go into that game, you lose that. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know what you make of it. The best 10 to 14 days of his career, football career.
I mean, what he's what he said, you know, it was a joke, and again, just as Edu had put himself in the firing line and said what he said, it doesn't speak well of Arteta at all.
They're playing with words. They're playing with the press. They're playing with those people. It's almost like he knows that there are haters out there. He knows that there's a contingency of fans out there that just don't like him. And I think, yes, he wants to try and bring unity, but it could be also playing them off. Do you know what I mean? And he's very good with his words. Do you know what I mean? If it was through Arteta's words alone, we would win the league. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's got the gift of the gab, but he ain't fooling us. And that's the thing. He isn't fooling us. Do you understand what I'm saying? What we need to do, yes, we need to now, we've got Burnley next, yeah? That Norwich game is gone now. Our big test now starts with Burnley away. Then we have Tottenham at home, yeah? Now, we win those 2 games. You know, I think there was talk about, you know, he's got 10 games to sort it out. So that's probably going to take us well clear down into October or so. But, you know what I mean? The thing about, I'm in this dilemma because I really want Conte, but at the same time, I just can't afford to be dropping any more points. You know what I mean? Because right now, we are the biggest banter club right now. And we ain't losing that title for a little while. You know what I mean? But I just wish Arteta will, the players, listen, a better manager, personally speaking, Kofi, do you think a better manager would get the best out of these current crop of players that we've got? Excluding El Nene and Granit Xhaka.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a better manager brings better tactics. And, you know, it would definitely galvanize the players to get motivated to want to play for the shirt, because I see a lot of the players there, they don't feel as if they want to play for the shirt right now. And yeah,
but that's all Arteta, though, isn't it? In his tactics and how he's dealing with individual players and stuff like that. It's got to be. And I mean, we want leaders. We need leaders, but I don't see anybody leading from the front. You know, you would expect Aubameyang is not really your kind of leader.
He's not a leader.
Tierney, probably Tierney. Kieran Tierney, I would probably say, is a natural leader. Do you know what I mean? His game a little bit has gone off the boil, but I blame that down to the way Arteta is coaching them. Because when I watched that game, that Norwich game, yeah, and this is the thing for me, it's really frustrating. And why Arsenal play a very predictable game, because the ball comes out, if it's Leno or Ramsdale tries to bring something different because he will go long sometimes, or he will play out, but then he wants that ball progress quick. Now, what will happen? It will come out to, say, Gabriel will pass it to Ben White. Then there's this kind of progression up the field, but it's very slow. The ball then goes out to Tierney, who then makes a darting run down the wing, crosses it in, but there's nobody in the box. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's nobody in the box. Do you know what I mean? There's nobody in the box. So what happens is that, you know, teams are just going to work this out and think, well, they're easy to play against because they keep doing the same thing. Now that we've got this Tomiyasu guy playing on the right hand side, which I thought had a great debut, and for me, definitely, even though he got taken off, I think around about the 60th minute, he was, for me, man of the match, for me personally speaking. And I think he's powerful, 6'2". He's quite tall for a right back, but he can play like centrally as well. And he kicks with both feet as well. And I tell you, if he had scored that goal, there was a cross that was put in, and I think it went over the head of Aubameyang, and Tomiyasu came in to do like a volley. It was very reminiscent of Van Persie when he scored that fantastic goal against Charlton at the ground. And if that had gone in, mate, he would have been a hero. Do you know what I mean? It went just over the bar, but he looked strong. He seemed to have adapted very quickly to the game and to the style of the Premier League. Is strong, and he looks quicker than what I expected. I expected him to be, because a lot of people saying he was slow, but over a short pace, over a short length, he looks quite quick. Do you know what I mean? So I'm happy with him. It's going to take time for him to adjust to the Premier League, but I think he will definitely do well for Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? I think he'll definitely do well for Arsenal. You know, so I for me, what Arsenal need to now start doing is if they're going to go to this 4-3-3 system, is that they're going to need to progress the ball much quicker. I think it was even in the Liverpool game when Alisson, a ball came out to him. Was it Alisson? No, sorry, no, it wasn't. It wasn't the Liverpool game. It was the Everton game against Burnley, and Pickford. Because it's about getting that ball up the field as quick as possible. If you've got someone like an Aubameyang who plays on the shoulder, I think Ramsdale will see that. I think as the more they play with each other, the more they will start to understand. Because what was happening, if you notice, when we played last season, the season before, when we won the FA Cup and going on our way to winning the FA Cup and getting those, bypassing the midfield, and picking up Aubameyang, he was able to then run onto those long balls. David Luiz was playing them at the time. But Ramsdale, what I noticed with Pickford yesterday, a ball came back to him, and Burnley were pushed up really far, and he saw a pass literally over the top of the midfield, and Demarai Gray, who's having a great season, only bought for $1.5 million, from Leicester. He's got 3 goals? Got more than Aubameyang and the whole of Arsenal. Yeah, and he scored in that game as well. But it's how quick we progress that ball up the field, and that's what I want to see Arsenal doing, moving the ball much quicker. The problem is Arsenal under Arteta, we move the ball too slow. That is the problem. We move the ball much too slow. So what we need to do is speed up our game. And if you notice, when we've played, even under Wenger and under Unai Emery, they will get games. Remember the game against Liverpool when you came out? It was the first time when we played when Klopp, and we literally took you apart. First 40-odd minutes was bang, 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 bang. Yeah, and then we just took our foot off the gas. What I'm noticing with Arsenal under Arteta is the first 3 games, we start off really quick, first 5-10 minutes, and then we step back, take our foot off the gas, and then the other team comes into the game. The longest we've done this for was against Norwich, where for 25 minutes we was right on top of them, but the goal didn't come. Heads dropped, and you're thinking, uh-oh. Norwich came back into the game, and you're thinking, oh boy, this is looking a bit tricky. So we need to play for 90 minutes and not 25 minutes or 45 minutes. Do you know what I mean? And that's why when I look at the teams like Liverpool, Man United, or not say more Man City, Liverpool, and Man City, do you know what I mean? They keep it going. Do you know what I mean? It's like non-stop. These guys don't stop until that final whistle. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I want to see Arsenal doing. And hopefully if we can, you watch them in training, they move the ball really quick in training, but then when it comes to the real game, you're seeing a totally different thing.
That's true.
Yeah, totally different. And you're moaning about Liverpool moving the ball slow. Well, you move it, as I said, you move it a lot quicker than us. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah, I mean the transition between when the ball goes to Trent and then when it's been moved around between the defense and the midfield a bit, is a little bit slower than I would like it. Some of the passes could be a little bit more penetrative, but we tend to, once the ball does get out to the wing backs, then the ball does move quickly, and so I can't complain too much, but I would like that.
Salah has got his 100th goal. He's in the 100 club.
Yeah, that's true. Mane, to be honest, Mane. That's what I said.
How many
Mane's on 99 Liverpool goals.
Wow.
So yeah, he's got a little bit to go to his 100th Premier League, but yeah.
So do you think, quickly, because we're going to close it up soon, do you think that Mane, especially Mane, do you think that he's found his form now? Do you think he's found his form, or do you think still there's a little way to go? Salah looks like he's on it, but Mane, do you think he's starting to find form?
He's getting there. He's still a little bit off from what he was a couple of seasons back. I still think he's still got a little bit more in terms of his clinical finishing, because especially in the game against Leeds, he had a hatful of chances. The game should have been dead and buried in the first half. And you can say there was one chance. I think it was an open goal, which Mane probably should have got a little bit more composure, but he had a lot of chances. And other players, that's what I'm saying, Son would have buried a lot of those chances Mane had. So, yeah.
Mane is a bit wasteful, but he's still good.
He's still a good, fantastic player, and he is an honest, hard-working player. Gives it his all throughout the game. He didn't shy away from all those misses, and he got his reward in the end. So, fair play to him, and hopefully he gets really good form this season, because we're going to need him.
Definitely, absolutely, definitely going to need him. So quickly, before we end this and close up, obviously Premier League, you're going to go Crystal Palace at home. What's your score prediction?
Definitely a home win.
Yeah.
3-1.
Okay. Also, I'd like to get your prediction for Arsenal away to Burnley. Please be nice to me.
I'm gonna be nice. Draw 2-2.
2-2.
Only because it's away.
2-2, Gosh. Yeah. Okay. Tottenham, Chelsea.
4. Again,
Tottenham just coming off a beating of 3-0.
I know. I think it's going to be a draw. I think it's going to be an interesting game. Think, you've got the two strikers, Kane, Lukaku. You've got, Tottenham going to want to have to prove themselves, home game especially. Yeah. So I think it could be a draw.
After coming off the back of a 3-0 loss to Crystal Palace?
Yeah. I think they would want to prove themselves.
Okay.
But Chelsea are strong. Chelsea are strong.
Okay, so we've got a 2-1 win for Liverpool against Crystal Palace.
3-1, I said.
Yeah, a 3-1. Sorry, my friend. A Desmond 2-2 twice. Us away to Burnley, which is saying a win for Chelsea. And you're saying 2-2 with Tottenham and Chelsea.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. That should be interesting when we see the table next week. That will be definitely interesting. But yeah, Cole, it has been yet another pleasure. And let me say a belated, if anybody doesn't know, a belated happy birthday. I think you celebrated it yesterday.
Yeah, I did. Thank you.
You're like the queen, but you also everybody was sending you birthday celebrations on a Sunday as well. So
I've had a lot of
the queen.
messages from everyone, and yeah, thank you everyone for your wishes. And yeah, it's been a lovely day, lovely birthday all around.
Nice. And obviously you hope that Liverpool will give you a nice birthday present this evening.
Of course, fantastic 3 points and a win.
I was going to say, what's the score? Liverpool, AC Milan. What did you say? 2-1, I think you said, didn't you? At the start.
Yeah, I said 2-1. 2-1.
Yeah. I'd like to say Arsenal are going to be played, but we can't really talk about that. There's no Europe for us. So at that juncture, we're going to close. Yeah? We're going to close this. Thanks a lot. Really appreciate coming on. And guys, look out for the next What's Going On podcast. Let's see what the Premier League, what Champions League throws up this week. And we'll be discussing it next week. So keep tuned. Thanks for watching the channel. Please like, subscribe if you're new, share, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.
Take care.
Take care, both.
Yeah.